Hi everyone, part of what we're trying to do with this video series is to give you a set of definitions to the conversations that we're having. So the first definition I want to give to you is on refugees. Now there's been so much in the news on refugees, the Syrian refugee crisis, President Trump's ban on refugees from entering the United States from 6 predominantly Muslim countries. People are talking about it on social media, and yet I wonder how many of us know what is the legal definition of a refugee, what makes a person a refugee, and how did they get to that place. So let's start at the legal definition. And I'm taking this from the UN, from their 1951 Convention on the Status of Refugees. This is their legal definition. It states that a refugee is defined as a person who, owing to a well-founded fear of being persecuted for reasons of race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion, is outside the country of his nationality and is unable to, or owing to such fear, is unwilling to avail himself to the protection of that country or return there because there's fear of persecution. So just by the legal definition, refugees are people who are outside of their country, who cannot return, who are usually fleeing persecution, terror, and conflict. Now, the second definition I want to give to you today is on Palestinian refugees, because I work with Palestinian refugees, and most people in my country, in the United States, do not know that Palestinians are refugees. So this definition comes from the UN Relief and Works Agency. It was set up in 1949 to address the Palestinian refugee crisis. As a result of the Arab-Israeli war, you had half of the estimated Palestinian population displaced, and that ranges anywhere from 600,000 to 800,000 people. So this is their legal definition of a Palestinian refugee. They define it as a person whose normal place of residence was Palestine during the period of June the 1st, 1946 to May 15th, 1948, who lost both home and means of livelihood as a result of the 1948 conflict. The descendants of Palestinian refugee males, including legally adopted children, are also eligible for registration. Now, what's interesting and what's also really confusing is that when you hear stats on refugees, they never include Palestinian refugees. When you hear stats on refugees, they always come from the UNHCR, the UN High Commission on Refugees, and the Palestinians are not under that branch of the UN. They're under UNRWA. So any of those stats that you hear do not include Palestinians. So when people tell you that the largest refugee group are Syrians, that's not true. Currently, Palestinians are the largest. You have 5.3 million Palestinian refugees registered with the UN, and that stat is from January 2016. The latest stat I got for Syrians was there's 4.9 million registered with the UN, and that was from February of 2017. Now, unfortunately, as the Syrian conflict continues on with no end in sight, they will become the largest refugee group this year, I fear. But what I want you to take away from this is that these are two nationalities in the Middle East. Over 10 million people are refugees in the Middle East. And I didn't even address the Iraqis or the Afghanis or the Yemeni. That's just two nationalities, you guys. That's how serious and widespread and huge this conflict is, or conflicts actually are in the Middle East. Keep checking back with us on BeirutandBeyond.org. We're going to continue to have these videos. I'll continue to film when I'm in the Middle East next month. We'll continue to have definitions. So please let us know what you would like to see, what topics you would like to be addressed as well. Thank you.